Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot which camera I'm looking at. Street Talking Other Stuff, Mike. Maddog Magnotti. I don't know what I'm so happy. You know, it was 7 degrees this morning. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's March. But the thing I was worrying about was that years ago, this is back in the 70s, it actually snowed on Easter. I don't know what's going on, but hey, this actually gives you single guys a good opportunity. See, now, I would never use this myself, being a happily married man. I am for more than 40 years. But if you need a new pickup line, just start talking about global warming. It'll break the ice. And, you know, President Trump has a plan to fight global warming. He says that if we need to, we can lower the temperature immediately just by switching from Fahrenheit to Celsius. It's not bad, okay? President Trump also says he's going to buckle down and fight global warming. He's planning on sending 20,000 troops to the sun. And yesterday, a group of scientists warned that because of global warming, sea levels are going to rise and they're going to cover much of New Jersey. That's actually not the bad news. The bad news is some of New Jersey will not be covered. Those of you know that that's the state I'm from. Thank God I'm from that state. Don't live there anymore. But hey, Street Talking Other Stuff, Mike, Maddog Magnotti, I have got a really good guest for you today. Now, I know they say that every week, but this week it's really true, okay? So you stick around. We'll be right back.
RLS Productions is proud to bring to the NCW Life Channel the Concerts in the Gardens Summer Series held at Omi Gardens. The series features performances from Rare Earth's Peter Rivera, Heart by Heart, Too Slim and the Tail Draggers, The Infinity Project, the Wenatchee Swingin' Big Band, and a whole host of other great acts. Tune in Wednesdays at 1:30 and 7 p.m. and Fridays and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. RLS Productions Concerts in the Gardens Summer Series, only on the NCW Life Channel.
Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their Laser Shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
I'm Dr. Ron Singleton. See how Ideal Protein can help you.
I started Ideal Protein about 10 months ago. I'm down 123 pounds and a little over 50 inches.
Using Ideal Protein, I've lost 37 pounds in just 10 weeks.
I lost over 52 pounds in 4.5 months on Ideal Protein.
This has been a wonderful journey. The food is great, and it's a very easy program to follow.
This medically designed program has repeatable, safe, and effective results. Call us today to schedule your weight loss consultation.
That's pretty much it. It's a great house, great neighborhood.
It's great.
Sam's still getting used to the idea of moving.
Sam, you play basketball?
Yeah.
Let me show you something. Now I'm thinking, you put your hoop right here, and you even got enough room for a three-point line. One of the things I've noticed is that if you got a hoop in your driveway, you make friends real fast.
At Coldwell Banker Levine, our agents don't just understand real estate, they understand what home is all about.
Okay, we're back. Street Talking Other Stuff. I am very happy to say that my guest today is Mr. Matt Cadman.
Good to see you, Mad Dog. How are you, buddy?
Matthew. You know, Matthew's a great guy. He's a good friend. He's a good buddy. He's been around a long time, and he is currently the Executive Director of the Performing Arts Center. And I just want to say this at the beginning. You did one heck of a job with that place. Well, I mean, you did. I mean,
I appreciate what you're saying. I didn't do it alone.
I know
you
that.
Know what Hillary said, you know, it takes a village.
It takes a village, okay, right.
And as my staff has told me on more than one occasion, it might take a village, but you're the village idiot.
Yeah,
no, they really said that.
No, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. But no, really, you turned the place around. You did a really good job. And one of the reasons why I had Matt on today is that he's going to retire. And I want the scoop on what's going to happen to that place. But
What's going to happen to that place?
That place.
I don't know what's going to happen to me.
Well, yeah, that's the next
place is
thing.
going to be fine, people.
Okay.
No, we have enjoyed such an amazing run.
Yeah.
That we're not going anywhere. We're going. The future's so bright, you're going to need shades. Do you remember that song from
Exactly right.
the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are working real hard on a smooth transition so that the next executive director can just take that ball and go even further with it.
Well, you know, it's going to be an amazing person if they can keep up the pace that you've set on that. So
Well, it will.
big shoes to fill, man. I'm sorry. You
Well,
really-
literally and I don't know about figuratively, but yeah, no, it's been the pleasure of my life to be able to be part of that organization. So, you know, as George Harrison said, I keep going back to quotes.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
All
all right.
things must pass.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, but it's been a pleasure of my life to be able to be part of that. So.
Okay, well, look, before we go into more about the Performing Arts Center, tell us a little about yourself. I mean, you were telling me earlier your history here. I mean, you're one of the original Wenatchee pioneer families.
No, I'm not. No, I would just say that my family's been here a long time.
Yeah.
And so my parents were born and raised here. In 1918, both the Cadmans and my mother is a Welty. If you remember Joe Welty Ford, that's my mother's family.
Yeah.
And their parents both came to the valley in the 1900s. So the Cadmans and the Weltys have been here for over 110 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I graduated from Wenatchee High School. My son graduated. So basically, in a small town like this, that doesn't hurt
Yeah.
to know a few people.
Right,
When you're in a nonprofit where you're asking for lots of support, that's probably one of the best things that I was able to count
Yeah,
on.
you had a lot of contacts, knew a lot of folks, right? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Mike, you know this. You came in '73.
Right.
I grew up with a lot of boneheads, if I can just be honest. A lot of idiots.
Yeah, we were
hung
quite
around
the
together
generation back
in the
then, so-
'70s, and now I came back after 20 years of being away, and they're all running the town. I said, "You're the mayor of Wenatchee? Do they know what you did in high school? You're a lawyer? You know, you're a millionaire? You know, that sort of thing." And these were guys who couldn't put two words together, 50 years ago.
Well, there was a reason. There was a reason for that. There was a
No.
reason why they couldn't put two words together.
It was a different time.
They could
people.
say Shazam.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've been able to harness a little bit of support from just people going, "Do I still owe you $5 from that kegger we went to in high school?"
And you said no, it was 10.
No, it was probably 10. Yeah, those because it was a different time, people. I keep coming back to that. Yeah. But between that and then my parents, whose friends are beginning to pass, but
Yeah.
it was really great to have connections with not only my friends who are now middle-aged, but their parents
Yeah.
who have
Yeah.
supported the arts incredibly over the years. So
sure.
between that, I would say those are real strong assets for the Numerica PAC.
Yeah. Okay, so you grew up here, graduated Wenatchee High School. Where'd you go to
Yeah.
college?
Well, I went to the University of Washington.
Right. Okay.
I was a Husky, and in Wenatchee, that's a bold choice.
No, that is true. There's a lot of cougs
It's getting a
around here.
little better now, but for a long time that was a bold choice. So I went to this is the '70s now, Mike.
Right.
That the decade that no one can really
Well, you
define.
graduated in 71. correct?
72.
72, okay.
From Wenatchee High School, and then I went to the University of Washington, and I became a teacher. And then for 34 years, that's 3.5 decades,
Right.
I've been involved in education in some way, mostly in the classroom somewhere.
Right, and the majority of that time was not here locally. You said
No.
you were gone for 20 years.
Correct. I came back to teach at Eastmont High School in the year 2000. But before that, for 25 years, I'd been in Seattle for the most of it.
Yeah.
I'd been in Spokane. I was able to work on my doctorate during the evenings when I taught during the day. So when I got my doctorate of education degree in '91, Gonzaga University hired me. So my wife and I, Camille and I, we went from Seattle to Spokane, drove right past Wenatchee, all the way to Spokane.
So,
where
okay, before you went to the college level, what grade level and stuff were you teaching?
high school for
High
the most
school,
part,
okay.
junior high and
At
high
that
school,
age.
secondary, yeah. Mostly history and English, some theater in there. And then, of course, as a young buck, you got to coach.
Yeah.
So I remember Grandview High School. Does anybody out there remember Grandview, Washington, home of the Fighting Greyhounds?
The Fighting Grahams?
Greyhounds.
Oh, Greyhounds.
Yeah. You knew you were in Grandview
I thought it was
Country.
talking about the Fighting Graham.
Because
Crackers.
on the middle, you know how everybody has their mascot on the middle of their basketball court?
Yeah.
Ours was a greyhound leaping out like he's on a track with his head turned to the side and his tongue out. Now, who's going to be afraid of that? Huh?
Well,
we were the home of the
anyone who
Fighting
played
Grahams.
against the Chelan Goats, okay?
No, right, no. Then I began to realize there are some other kind of unique mascots out there.
Yeah.
But so I began at the tender age of 22 years old teaching 17-year-olds.
Yeah, okay, all right.
You know, so there in itself was an education. That
Yeah, I'll
began
bet,
my
I'll
long,
bet, yeah.
my long train of making things up as I went. And here I've turned it into 2 careers.
Okay, so you went to Gonzaga, is that what you said?
Yeah, do you really want to know all this?
Yeah.
No, they don't care about
Okay, all right,
this.
forget about that. We
All
don't
right,
wanna talk
so
about
I was a career educator, let's just say that.
And you did that for 34 years.
Ended up at Eastmont High School where I taught for 13 of my favorite years. Just
Okay.
loved everybody surrounded with Eastmont School
Did
District.
you like being back in the old
Yeah,
hometown? so
well, I
to
did. You
speak?
know what?
Okay.
I love Seattle. Camille and I love Seattle, and we weren't going to have children. We were going to be that urban, whatever called the yuppies or dinks or dinks.
Right.
Double income, no kids, dinks. That was big in the 80s and 90s. Well, we got to thinking maybe that's not so. We had a little baby boy named Colby in 1997, and suddenly the big city just wasn't cutting it because she'd go an hour to her work.
Right.
I'd go an hour to my work, and our little boy sat in daycare for moms, dads. Can you relate to this?
Yeah.
So I start shuffling out resumes to Eastern Washington schools where we wanted to kind of calm down. Eastmont hired me as a history teacher, and we raised Colby and Wenatchee.
Okay, let me
which was a
back up
dream.
just a little bit, because we lived in the U District for a while when my daughter Marie was young, okay? Matter of fact, I think she was 4 months old when we first moved over there. And I remember when we finally came back to Wenatchee when she was 2, she walked outside her apartment and bent over and touched the grass.
She did.
Yeah,
Oh.
because we had, it just
She
didn't have that much opportunity to go
Sure.
to parks and that kind of thing.
Where did you live in the U District?
University Way and 47th, the big
Oh,
building, the
dude.
Wilsonian, so.
Yeah.
Right across
Well,
the
you
counter,
have some stories.
away from Costa's restaurant.
I know exactly
Greek
where it
place.
is. Yeah. That wasn't the greatest part of town.
No, and I wasn't the greatest guy in the world either. So.
Well,
No,
you know,
it was interesting. Glad to live there for a while, but glad to come back
yeah.
here. Couldn't wait to come back here.
loved every second of it. You know, somebody said you can never go back, but you know what? You can go back. And here's a lesson for all of you out there. I did come back, and I don't regret a second of it. But I'll tell you what, I had to leave first. And I've told all my seniors who graduated for 30 years, we would love to have you back in town, but you got to go. You got to get out of here and discover some world.
Yeah.
Not all the world, but some of the world, and then come back and be a contributor to our society. Because we want you back in Wenatchee. We want you back in the Valley, young scholars, but we want you to be contributing. We don't want you on the dole.
Right, exactly. No, very true, yeah.
And
Wenatchee
that-
is a great place.
Oh, it's a great place, and
great
more and
town.
more of our graduates are leaving
Yeah.
and coming back.
Cool.
When I was graduating from here, we had a lot of people who never left, which was great, and then we had a lot of people who never came back. But to me, the wonderful Venn diagram are those who left and then came back and are contributing to the community.
Right.
That's a big deal for me. I sort of think that's a variation on a theme is community service.
Okay, so what led you to leave education, which you clearly loved, and
Yeah.
take over the executive directorship of the Performing Arts Center? Tell us about that.
Well, without
And
sounding
how long ago was that, too?
without sounding schmaltzy, it was the mighty hand of God.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I believe in God.
The mighty.
I believe that God steps in once in a
Oh,
while.
I don't believe in him. I just no. Of course I do.
He's just saying it.
The mighty hand of God. I could not have been happier at Eastmont High School. I'm in the middle of a year teaching away, and I'm doing fairly well.
Yeah.
Haven't had many lawsuits. We were doing pretty well at that point. And my wife, Camille, who's on the board of directors at the Performing Arts Center, said, we need another executive director, and I can't come home for dinner tonight because we're having an executive sort of a skull session on how we're going to, find this next person. And they had brought in a consultant to talk about who should probably be the skill set and qualifications. And this is according to my wife. As they kept describing who this person should be, she said, "Ding! I know who it ought to be." And I said, "Who? Is this him?" "No, it's my husband." And you can imagine how that goes over. "No, my husband."
Yeah.
No, he'd be great.
Didn't she learn, like all wives do, not to volunteer your husband?
And it didn't go over real well when she came on. Honey, she goes, honey, I've got it. It's just as clear as day to me what we're gonna do.
Camille, you don't volunteer your husband till you talk to him, okay? All right, but hey, we want to get back to this, but we got to take a break, okay? So I'm with Matt Cadman, the Executive Director of the Performing Arts Center, and I'm very excited to say this for only the next 2 weeks. But we're going to talk more about this when we get back. But hey, we're going to take a quick break. Street talk and other stuff.
Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
When you have to get there on time and looking good, call Fast, Friendly, Reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Available 24/7, AC Checker Taxi has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee for your pre-booked call. Some conditions apply. Call 663-8294. AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Schedule your ride ASAP or book up to a year in advance online at azchecker.com. American Classic Checker Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in North Central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
This is State Representative Carrie Condata inviting you to watch our new and improved 12th District 2.0 show. Now featuring more information on federal, state, and local issues in a leaner, faster format. Guest hosts John Wise and Shiloh Shower bring it all home with yours truly, Carrie Condata. Why do we call it 2.0? Because just like me, it's the stronger, faster, and lighter version of today's politics. Also available on demand at ncwlife.com.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
We're back. Street talking and other stuff. I'm talking with Mr. Matt Cadman, who is currently the Executive Director of the Performing Arts Center, and I'm sorry to say you're retiring in a couple of weeks. But you just got back to where you got the job. Your wife came home and told you, guess what? Guess what, hubby?
Well, it took a while for me to process because it was also semester finals, and I was also the AP teacher, so that's a very heavy moment for a high school teacher. Went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Kept saying, you know what, the doors are going to close. It's no big deal.
But you started considering it, obviously.
I did apply.
Okay.
I did apply just because, I never want to be one of those what if guys, right? You're not a what if guy.
Oh, I would do the same thing.
I wish. What if I had just applied for that job?
No, if somebody came to me and said, hey, I want you to be my orchard manager, I'd at least look into it.
Exactly. So knowing that about myself.
No, I do not want to be an orchard manager. God.
Well, the phones are lighting up, Mike. Anyway, so long story short, I took the job.
Okay.
February 3rd, 2013.
Okay.
A day that shall remain in infamy.
That was 5 years ago.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
6 years and a month.
I was never good at math.
And then the show began. Off and running.
Tell me the changes you made, okay?
Well,
you started building on more sponsorships for shows and that type of thing.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. The first thing happened is 3 days after my tenure began was our first show, or the next show in the lineup. Well, this show was a radio show, Pride and Prejudice, coming out of LA Theater Works, which is a great outfit, but it was a Wednesday in February, and they didn't have a sponsor for the show. So to get back some of that money, there was a $50 ticket for a radio show on Wednesday. So I didn't know all this, and I'm just absolutely ignorant of the whole thing. Walked out, hi, with some verve.
Sure.
I'm Matt Cadman, the new executive director of the Performing Arts Center. I can't tell you how excited I am. And I look out there and it's crickets. Crickets. There might have been 60 people.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is just humiliating.
Right.
So it was a great show. Nobody's going to watch it. And I walked out and I made a decision. And I told the executive team the next day, the board of directors, I may be the shortest lived ED that you've had, but we have got to change this business model. I said, if I have to prune the tree back to one show a year, it's not going to be subsidized by us. We are out of the subsidizing show business as of today.
Right.
If the town isn't going to step up and sponsor shows and allow us to bring these things, then we won't have a theater and we shouldn't have a theater.
Right.
But obviously the community does love the arts. The community has supported us. And from that moment on, that was sort of like the first bold step of this is a community theater. So if I've tried to do one thing, it is to try change it from the look of a traditional proscenium theater that puts on shows to, as I say, a community center with really comfy seats.
And it is, I mean, it's a great venue, but one thing Matt did, you know, I'm involved with Music Theater Wenatchee, and I happened to
Yes,
be
you are.
on the board at the time. I hate being on boards. I'm a lousy board member because I won't volunteer for anything.
You are, then you are a lousy
I'm
board member.
I'm a lousy
What are you
board
doing
member.
on a board if you're not
I
volunteering?
quit, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay.
I quit before
You
they
buried the
fired
lead.
me. But you basically came in and you said, hey, I want the PAC and Music Theater to be back together. And
Yeah.
you figured out a way that we could do it, and we all made money.
Yeah,
You know, and the shows that have been there, what was the first one?
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, and then Guys and Dolls.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein,
Young Frankenstein
and,
was
Guys and
another.
Dolls, and then Newsies.
And this year's gonna be Newsies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a much better venue for the Apple Blossom Show.
Well, I agree. And again, that underpins my point of this is bigger than a traditional theater. This
Right.
is a community center, and we ought to be one of the cultural anchors of the valley. So if we did anything right, it was that we immediately turned the theater into outreach, more than had been done before. I mean, a real priority was outreach. So we started a program called Every Kid's at the PAC.
Right, remember that?
Every kid at the PAC has gone crazy. 17,000 kids have attended a show at the PAC for free. Because of sponsors and donors from the community who stepped up and saw it was beautiful.
Okay, now here's the question, though. I mean, your passion for this is obvious, okay? Why are you leaving?
Why am I leaving? Well, my parole is up, frankly, and my community service hours don't. No. I told you before.
He's fulfilled his community
Yeah,
service.
I'm out of here. All things must pass.
Yeah, okay.
When I took the job, I thought it would be a 3 to 5 year transition because I had long-term goals that I thought would take 5 years.
Yeah.
And this is my 6th year.
Yeah.
And frankly, I've accomplished most everything on that original list, which is exciting. I wish, I don't know if you ever are totally happy with the things are, but I wish that I could have attained sustainable growth to a deeper degree than we are. But in almost every other category, we have either met the target I set or surpassed it.
You've done, I mean, there's no question, you've done an incredible job.
Well,
you
we
know?
have. When you say
Yes.
you, that's not the royal, that's the
I'm
royal
sorry.
you.
I
yeah.
hear you, I
No,
do.
I have to be very clear about that. We have 150 volunteers.
And you have a great team.
We have an incredible team, and you know what? We only have, including me, 5 salaried employees with $1 million budget, and we had listen to this, Mike. We have our 500,000th patron come through the theater last Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, to me, that's amazing. So.
And patrons are people who donate a certain amount of money, correct?
No, they're just ticket buyers,
Oh,
just people
ticket
coming
buyers.
to see a
Oh,
show.
I see, yeah.
Yeah. So, we've tripled our, I could go over the stats, and that's not even my point. My point is that the community stepped up and said, we love this place, we love the arts, and to be honest, I think the only thing I really brought to the party was a little cheerleading.
No, it's been more than that.
No,
Okay, I
the
mean,
only thing that was
you had a team, but the team needs a vision, and without a vision, the people perish, okay?
I've heard that from somebody.
Some famous guy said it. But Matt, okay, I'm sorry, you've done an incredible job. And I know you had a team, I know you had people do it,
Yeah.
but they operated with your vision, your guidance, and that kind of thing, and we, as a community, really appreciate it.
Well, I thank you.
So, you're welcome.
I'll just say thank you. But I'll slip it over, but it takes a village.
Okay, well, who is gonna?
The board of directors, when I announced my retirement in January,
Yeah.
I gave a 2-month notice, which is probably really, really long.
Right.
But I wanted to have the board have a chance to have a smooth transition because I realized that this is a very unique position. And given where we are and where we were, who knows where it's going to be in another 5 years. So they're looking for the future for certainly not a Matt Cadman, but somebody who can take the baton and go further. So,
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they
right.
need. So.
Believe me, nobody needs another Matt Cadman. So ask
I don't know.
Ask
I'm not
my wife.
100% in agreement, but hey, we got to take a break. Then we're going to come back and say goodbye to Matt. And I really appreciate you being here. I really do. I really do. He owes me money. Hey, but I street talking other stuff. Mike Maddog Magnotti with Mr. Matt Cadman. You stick around. We'll be back in a sec. So.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Are you suffering with joint pain? Need orthopedic care sooner than later? For an orthopedic evaluation, there's no reason to wait weeks or months. You can get the help you need now from the experts at Lake Chelan Community Hospital, led by John Hopkins-trained Dr. Joshua Shohowski. Their orthopedic team specializes in sports medicine, knees, shoulders, and general orthopedics. When considering joint replacement, you should know all your options. Call or visit Lake Chelan Community Hospital today.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Okay, we're back. Again, I'm talking with Mr. Matt Cadman, who is currently, for the next 2 weeks, the Executive Director of the Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, we're working hard. We got some great stuff happening. So,
Okay, now when leaving, I mean, what do you want to tell the community? What do you want to say? What's important for us to know?
Well, this is definitely a very difficult decision and a very emotional decision, but I do want everyone out there to know that you are entirely the reason that the Numerica PAC has reached such heights. And once I leave, I'm just so hopeful and so confident that you'll continue to support the Numerica PAC with the same gusto and verve that you have before. This is a place, one of the great community anchors of our town and a great community trophy. So thank you so much for all the support you've given me and for our precious little theater. And I wish you all well in the next act.
Well, Matt, we thank you, okay?
Thank you, brother.
I'm glad you're not leaving town, at least. I'm glad you're still sticking around.
We don't know what Act 3 is going to bring.
The Performing Arts Center, it is a gem for our community. It has grown tremendously. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but how did they get on the website or on your mailing list?
Oh, that's at numericapac.org.
Okay.
That easy.
And if you need to know more, let me know, maddog@nwi.net. They send out a weekly notice, that type of thing, and they have monthly shows there that are for donation only. We just came down and saw The Great Lebowski. We saw Gone with the Wind there. I keep
Spinal Tap is this week.
That's right, Spinal Tap. I keep telling Matt he should do Ben-Hur, but he keeps telling me I have to pay to sponsor it.
Yeah, that's right.
And I am a tiny businessman.
Any move you want, Mike. Just need $500.
I am just a tiny businessman, but it's great. But again, thanks very much.
You're doing a great job here, and I appreciate being on today.
You can come back and interview me another time.
There we go.
Okay, Street Talk and other stuff. Mike Maddog Magnotti, appreciate you being here. We will see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.